I have been really bad at documenting my food hauls this month. It was something that I was doing like last month and the month before. I was doing a lot of YouTube shorts to show the sort of things I was getting. But as with most things that I do, I go through a phase, so I'll get really, really into doing something and then I'll just get completely bored of it. And I've been busy doing all sorts of other videos and bits and pieces, and I just haven't bothered. So I thought I would just do an end of month montage for October to show you what I've bought. There have been some things on cashback, and mostly I do cashback when I have gift cards. So if something is free, I will buy it anyway because I'm getting all the money back from it. But if it's a discounted item on a cashback and I have gift cards, for instance, I will find that I build up quite a lot of Tesco gift cards from doing surveys. And because my new cleaning client is just around the corner from the Tesco's I would normally go to, it means that every week I now have the opportunity to go to Tesco's if I need to. So I tend to bank up some of the offers on the three cashback apps I use, which are Shopmium, Checkout Smart, and Green Genie, and I will go and see what I can get. I can't always get everything. There's a few things at the moment which I really like to get, but I can't find them in any of the stores that are valid. So I just pick up what I can, and then that means that when I get the cash back on that item, I've been able to partially or wholly cash back in the gift card back into actual money, which then goes into my bank account. So cashing those gift cards back in is better for my bank account and puts money back in. And of course, it means that I also end up with food that I wouldn't normally buy because, as a general rule, cashback apps will offer you branded products, and I don't buy branded products unless I can get them heavily discounted, lower than a saver price, or if they are free. So the cashback apps have been one thing. I've also still been buying on yellow stickers. I haven't done as much this month. Normally I would go in Sunday mornings, Thursday evenings, and depending on if I was really looking for things and I was a bit short of, say, fresh ingredients in the fridge, like vegetables and things, I would go in more often, perhaps nip in every day at about between about 1 and 3, just to see what was there, see if I could fill up the shelves. So I haven't had as many things, but the things that I have had have been more interesting. So we have mozzarella, we had some lovely hummus and pate. I love pate. It's very rare to see pate, so I bought several tubs of that. So as you'll see on this little video, I did take some photos, if nothing else, mostly for Instagram really, but I've included them here just to show you the sorts of things that I've been getting. So it's not been too bad a month, and it means that my food shop is coming in with that zero balance that I try to aim for every month. And of course this month I also acquired that big bit of furniture, the top half of which is now my food stash, my larder, which just makes everything easier to find. It's all properly laid out now, as you can see here, and it just means that I know exactly what I've got. I know how much of everything I've got. I can see when I'm short of ideas and I'm just fed up with eating the same thing every day, and I'll see something and think, oh, I can do that instead. So there's all sorts of things that I can do with seeing all of that laid out. It's much easier for me to manage. There's quite a lot there. There isn't as much as there used to be, and certainly a lot of that has to do with how many items are being offered on, say, cashback apps. We've been through phases earlier this year where the plant-based milk was being offered for free all the time, and it was really easy to stash up. I had sometimes like 12 of those 2-pint cartons, and because it's plant-based, it's long. Most of it is long life, so it will sit there for ages. And now they've all stopped, and I'm down to my last 2. So you will also see from some of my yellow sticker buys that I've bought milk for the first time in a long time. But that's a 6 pint of milk, and I think it was about 74p. So that does work out really well. And I always keep a number of single pint and 2 pint plastic milk cartons in storage, and so when I get like a 6 pint like that, because there's no way I can drink six pints of milk, I decant them into the single bottles and put them in the freezer, and they last ages. So it's all about making things last. So 74p, 6 pints, and that will probably do me best part of a month, depending on if I do then manage to get any plant-based milk. There's the odd thing coming through, but again, it's the sort of thing that I would only buy with a gift card, unless it was free, of course, in which case it doesn't matter what I do. Because even 75% off, they tend not to be cheap enough given the size of the bottles. But it's a case of just doing calculations in your head. The shops now, of course, are very focused on Christmas already, so a lot of the shelves have given way to Christmas stock, which isn't something that I'm going to be buying. The January sales may reveal some good Christmas bargains, like I had last year with mincemeat and boozy fruit and things, and some of that I've still got in the cupboard from last year. Because it lasts for ages, you know. A jar of something, you know, it might say you've got to use this within 3 weeks of buying it. For 6 months later, you might find it's fine. I make my own jam very often when I have a good blackberry haul. I've just opened a jar from 2021 that I made, and it's absolutely fine. It's really nice blackberry jam, and I'm using that because I've not been bothered about making too many desserts. And I had some Savour scones on discount. Bought 2 packs, I put them in the freezer, and I keep things like that on hand, because if like now I've got nothing in, like it's like a sweet, like a dessert, and I just can't be bothered. And because now you need to make sure that when you're using your oven, you need to batch things up. So if I decide I want to make a dessert that's going to be cooked in the oven, I have to decide what else am I going to make as well, to make sure that I'm getting my money's worth out of that. So I have to kind of play around with that as well. So I want to make some dessert, but I have to decide which 2 other things I'm going to make as well. And I will have a think about that and decide what I'm going to do. I think I might make an apple crumble, because I have some apples that need using, and I might make a like a chocolate cake. I've got one of those chocolate cake mixes in the cupboard, which I found when I was sorting out my new larder, and they're pretty disappointing on their own. So I tend to add fruit to them. I'll add extra flour because they tend to be quite small, and I'll try and turn them into something a bit more interesting. I also have several bags of icing, just the powder left over from other cake baking mixes which I never used, so I might ice one of them just for a bit of fun. You know, it's getting cold, autumn's here, and I do start to think a little bit more about sugar, that's for sure. And that's a lot to do with the lack of daylight, feeling a bit cold, and just enjoying those snacks a bit more, which is terrible really. So that's my little update. You've got some pictures appearing here, there, everywhere where I've taken pictures of what I have bought, just to give you an idea. But it's been quite a good month food-wise. I've had a little bit more variety than usual, because I've had things like mozzarella, and you've got the pate, and it just means that you can just do things a little bit differently. So that's fun. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope it inspires you to go and have a look in your supermarket and see if you can find yourself some bargains.